Hi, my name's Rob Green and today we're going to be making crunchy chicken burgers, Caesar burgers, in homemade brioche buns. Okay, so first things first, we're going to start on the brioche buns. They're not as hard as what you think they are, and you'll see as we're progressing. So I'll just run through the ingredients to start with. We've got 250 millilitres of warm water. We've got 2 teaspoons of dried yeast. We have 3 tablespoons of warm milk, 2 tablespoons of caster sugar, 450 grams of strong bread flour. You must make sure it's strong bread flour like we have there, or similar, and 110 grams of butter, which is just sort of slightly soft there, 2 large eggs, and later on we're just going to put some sesame seeds on and things like that, but I'll do that a bit later. So first things first, what we need to do is to create our sort of yeast mix. So we've got the warm water there, the warm milk together. We're going to tip our sugar in and also our dried yeast. Okay, we need to give this a whisk, making sure that it's all mixed in, and then we need to leave that in a warm place for about 5 to 10 minutes until it starts to froth up, and you'll see that way that the yeast is activated. So I'm just going to put that to one side for now. So next up, we've got a teaspoon of salt into our flour, and we're going to pop our butter in as well into these little chunks like so, into our flour, and we're going to pop it into our food sort of dough mixer thing with dough hooks on. But what we're going to do is pop that in, and we're just trying to incorporate this butter into the flour so it's like breadcrumbs. You can do this by hand with your fingers, but we're going to do this in the machine. So probably about 5 minutes, I should think, if that. Right, as you can see, the butter's incorporated into the flour now, which is going to make our lovely rich dough, and also our yeast there has got a nice frothy head on there, which means the yeast is working and we're ready to start making our dough. So I'm going to crack 2 eggs into our mixture, and straight into the bowl, and also we're going to add our yeast mixture straight in, get all the frothing lovely. That's excellent. And then we're going to start this, and again we're going to knead this. So we're just going to mix. We're just going to mix this up until it forms a nice dough, until it's springy and soft to the touch, which means the gluten strands have been activated and it becomes nice and stretchy. So we'll see you in a couple of minutes. Right, hi. So we're now at the stage where the first thing with the dough. It's all mixed in. Don't be afraid at the moment if the dough is slightly wet, because it does need moisture, this dough, before we prove it. Okay, so we're just going to lift this out of here now. You can see, look at that dough, soft, springy. That's absolutely perfect for what we need at the moment. Just going to pop that back in there. Keep it in the original bowl like this, because you're going to need to knock it back again in a bit, but I'll show you about that. What we're going to do now is just gently cover this up with a tea towel, and I'm going to pop this in the oven on the proving function. If you don't have a proving function on your oven, keep it somewhere nice and warm, like in the living room near a radiator, but not on top of a radiator. It just needs to be warm. Probably going to take about an hour and a half to double in size. That's what we're looking for. So you're looking double this size, so we're looking for it to come up to, say, 3/4 of that bowl. Okay. Hi, so we're ready to do the next bit, which is we're going to be panning our chicken breast ready for frying. Okay, so what we've got here, we're going to pan our chicken ready for frying it. We've also got chicken breasts. We've got some plain flour, some eggs just whisked up, and some natural breadcrumbs. Also, I've got sort of like a bit of a spice mix here. So what we've got in here is, you can put what you want in really, but in here today I've just got some smoked paprika, some onion, salt, some celery salt, mixed herbs, and just stuff like that. If you want to make a Mexican, you could put cumin in, you could put coriander in, Mexican spices. With this spice, we're going to put some into the flour, and we're going to put some into the breadcrumbs as well, just to make sure that we get a nice sort of taste off of that. The other thing I've got here as well is some extra, some black pepper. I like a lot of black pepper in this, and I don't know, I just think it does give it a bit of an edge. So that into a bit of both as well. Now the chicken breast, yes, for the purists out there, yes, you can marinate it in buttermilk or milk for 24 hours to make it moist, and you could put some of that spice seasoning in it with it as well. But today we're not doing, because we've had to concentrate on the brioche rolls as well. So right, so in we go. We're just mixing this up here, just to get that incorporated into the flour. Same with the breadcrumbs. Just mix that through. Now these are just natural breadcrumbs from a packet. You can make your own if you want, or I do like to use panko breadcrumbs actually, but we didn't have any in today. Now as regards to the chicken breast, I do like mine, when we're doing this, I do like them sort of quite thick if we're having a burger. So I'm going to use full, we call them burgers, but we're going to use whole chicken breasts. So now you can batter these out really thin, but I don't really like to for this, because I want to keep them quite thick. So today we're just going to bash these a bit, put the cling film over the top. Just sort of helps not to destroy it too much, just like that really. These chicken breasts from a local butcher, so I know they're going to be good. They're like local chickens, just about something like that. So we're getting sort of, we flatten them out a bit, make them flat, but we're not going down to sort of wafer thin. If you're doing a parmo or something, obviously you bash them right out. So just take a cling film off. There we go. Okay. So we take our chicken breast that we've just battened out. We've got all this lined up ready. So first of all, into our flour, like so. Make sure we're all covered. The flour helps the egg stick to it, which in turn makes the breadcrumb stick. So just pat off any excess into our egg. Make sure it's covered completely, like so. Let any extra drip off into our breadcrumbs. Our spiced breadcrumbs with all our lovely things on. Let's make sure we get them all round. Okay, and for this one I'm just going to pop this chicken breast back into the egg. This is called double paneing. Okay, this is going to give us an extra crispy coating on these lovely chicken breasts that we've got. Like I say, just make sure they're all completely and utterly covered. Okay, there's one onto our tray. Next one, same again, into our seasoned flour. Make sure we're completely covered. Into our egg, drip any excess off, breadcrumbs, completely and utterly coated all on the edges and everything, back into our egg mixture and back into our, and then we're just going to repeat that for the final chicken breast, or however many you have. Okay, and now we're on to the Caesar salad. Okay, so Caesar salad for our burgers and our brioche buns, quite an important part of it. But what we're going to do is I'm not making a traditional Caesar salad here to a certain extent. For the purists amongst you, I will explain a little bit more later. We've got, so far, we've got lemon juice, we've got shop bought mayonnaise, we've got fresh parsley, we've got parmesan cheese, we have sea salt, black pepper, Worcestershire sauce, and I've got some smoked garlic here. If you can't find smoked garlic, it doesn't matter, just normal garlic will do. Now, already in here I've got my lemon juice, I've got my mayonnaise, and I've got my Worcestershire sauce. I just wanted to sort of talk a little bit about this. Yes, a traditional Caesar salad would have capers in, and it would have anchovies in. Now, you can make your own mayonnaise for this, of course, if you would like to. But I feel really we've done enough work with everything else in this recipe that a good quality shop bought mayonnaise is fine. So we've got the Parmesan cheese in there. We're going to put some more black pepper in as well. Big fan of black pepper. A little bit of sea salt. Worcester sauce is already in. Garlic's already in, 1 clove. Lemon juice is already in. Now the other thing I did mention before was capers. Now I haven't got any capers today, but what I'm going to do, or what I've done, is just I've just marinated some like cucumber. Just need a little bit of malt vinegar. We're just going to pop that in. That will just give us that sort of caper crunch and the sort of vinegary hit that we need. Also, I'm going to go in with a little bit of fresh chopped parsley there. That's going to go into our mix there. Now, normally you would put a bit of mustard in, maybe Dijon or English or whatever you feel. But what I'm doing for these is I'm going to go in with this sort of spicy chilli paste. It's like a smoky chilli paste. We don't want too much, just a little, sort of like half a teaspoon in, and that's going to give us a little bit of a spicy hit, which the mustard will give us, but it's going to give us that smoky flavour as well, which is going to make this dressing sort of stand out. Okay, just while I'm stirring that, we have I've got some little gem lettuce here, which I've washed and just popped into a bowl. You can use iceberg lettuce, which nice crispy lettuce as well. You want something with a bit of a crunch. And also we've got fresh shaved parmesan there. Just do that with a vegetable peeler, or you can grate it as well, that's fine. But that's just some extra there. We have already got some into our mixture there. Now, the other thing as well that you would have in a Caesar salad would be croutons, but to be honest with you, I can't really see the point with this recipe because we've got the crunchy chicken, crispy chicken, and we've also got the brioche buns as well. So if you did want to put crispy croutons in there, obviously absolutely fine, but I don't feel the need for this. So there's our quite simple ingredients ready there for our Caesar salad. Okay, so we've left our dough now for probably about just over an hour 10 minutes, hour 20 minutes. I'm just going to have a look at it and see if we're ready to knock it back and get on with the next procedure. So let's have a look. Oh yeah, look at that, absolutely great. That's risen up an absolute treat. It almost seems a shame to do the next procedure, but we have to do it. So it's springy to touch, look at that, really light. Okay, so we're going to pop that back into our mixer, which we have before, and this is called knocking the dough back, and I will explain a little bit more about that shortly. So we're just going to okay, so what we've done is knock back what we call knock back this dough, and it gives it a chance again to. It's going to rise again for our buns. Try and lift this back up, and what we're looking for here is a dough of this sort of consistency. Now you can see it's coming away from the sides of the bowl. Okay, we're going to pop this onto our thing. It's still quite wet, you know, and if it needs more flour, which this will do, definitely do. Then use your same strong white bread flour. Let's get plenty on, and let's just give this a moving round on here. If you feel it's too wet as well when you see it in the, you can see now it's sort of coming together. We don't want it too dry because we don't want the buns to be sort of like too dry. If it's looking a bit wet inside the mixer, then let's just, you can put a bit more flour in there. Right, we need to get this cut up. Plenty of flour on our knife as well. Everything that we're using, we've got plenty of flour on. Okay. Right. I think for now we'll just do a demonstration of a couple of buns, okay? So she's not back. Oh, it's lovely and soft, this dough. We're probably looking at this dough here that we've got here to probably get, say, sort of 12 buns. And I would say with these burgers, I'm going to make them slightly larger, so I'm probably going to be looking about 10. So you want a piece about the size of what I've got here, which when we roll it up, you can sort of see what sort of size we're talking about. Push underneath. Okay, I'll try and turn around a little bit. So push underneath and pop that bun up, and there we go. Look, we're talking a nice sort of like passing down just a little bit. I'm just going to pop those onto the baking tray there, like so, which I've just lightly greased with oil. Can be any oil, and that's our bread bun. So let's make another one. We'll make a couple of these. Okay, so I said about 10. Won't be far off with that. So plenty of flour. If it starts sticking, more flour. Don't be afraid. It's fine. Here we go. We're going to look. We're pushing from the bottom, and we're getting a lovely bun shape. Pass them down a little bit onto a baking tray. Let's do one more. Now with this, you must make sure as well that your hands have got plenty of flour on as well. So keep your hands in the flour. For rolling round, you've got to work quite quickly. We don't want to overwork this, but you're seeing how moist this dough is. I'm going to pop one more in, so I'm going to do 4 out of this batch. I'm sure you get the idea. So again, from the bottom, push your fingers up into this dough shape like so, and pat down. Okay, considering it's a burger bun, we want them a little bit flatter as well. So don't be afraid of that. Now, the other thing, just briefly, is just to make sure that you leave plenty of space between these buns, because they are going to rise. Okay, quite a lot. Now, okay, so there's our buns ready. One more point. This dough here, which we've got, which has been knocked back, pop that into a freezer bag, into a small amount if you want, and freeze it down. And then when you're ready again to make some more buns, basically we get this dough out, you roll them into the bun shapes that we've just done, and they can prove, and away you go again. You can have fresh brioche buns. Right, okay, all I'm going to do now, I'm just taking a piece of cling film here. Now I'm just going to have to remove that just out of the way, and this, I'm just going to put my cling film on here. This is quite important. A layer of cling film on there. I've got a little bit of olive oil in here. You need to brush this with oil because else you don't want it sticking to the top of your buns. This is just to cover them loosely. It doesn't have to be tight, but the oil stops the cling film from sticking to the buns. This is just for the final prove. For the final prove, you're probably looking at about another hour. We're just going to cover these over. I should bring this up closer, like so. And we're going to pop that again in a warm place to prove until they've about doubled inside, and then it'll be ready to cook. Okay, so we've got our chicken breast already panade there on the stove here. I've got my frying pan with shallow frying tonight, so we've probably got about 4 or 5 tablespoons of oil in there, just sunflower oil or vegetable oil, something like that, over medium heat. Okay, we're going to pop our chicken breast in. As you can see, you need the oil to be heated before we put these in. I'm just popping these in like so. And we want to achieve a nice golden brown colour. We're not fully cooking these in the pan. We're going to finish these off in the oven. Okay, so these are just bubbling away now nicely, which is great. I'm just going to pop a nice knob of butter in here. Okay. And what we're looking to do with these is just to space these over. Okay, to space this over. This is also going to keep it moist as well, but it will also add the caramelised colour to the chicken in a moment. Okay, so we're just going to let them simmer away for maybe 2 minutes before we turn them over. Okay, so we see the butter's foaming up nicely there. They've been simmering away on sort of medium heat for a couple of minutes. Now I'm going to flip these over. As you can see, we're getting a nice sort of golden brown colour on those breadcrumbs. Lovely. We're just going to keep basting those over for a couple of minutes. Like I say, we're not cooking these in the pan. We're going to finish these off in the oven because they are quite thick as well. So we just want to try and get these breadcrumbs nice and crispy, nice and golden brown, and all that lovely butter over the top. Just keep basting until we achieve the desired result. Okay, so these are ready now. We're just lifting these out onto our baking tray, ready to go into the oven. See, nice and golden brown. All that butter has helped really sort of get a really nice golden brown colour on those whole chicken breasts there. Okay, we're going to leave it there for a moment and then we'll be back in a second. Okay, so here's our approved brioche buns. As you can see, good job I left plenty of space between them because they've risen absolutely beautifully. And just before we bake these, I've preheated the oven to 180 degrees. All we want to do with these is to get a nice egg wash on them, so we get a lovely golden brown colour on them. So I'm just going to pop that on all of these. Just be careful, we don't want to sort of burst the lovely risenness of these buns here. So we're just putting this on nice and careful. Just try and make sure that you get right round on them and we get a lovely even golden brown on these. Okay, so you can see, yeah, it's been sort of quite a long haul with these to get there, but they are going to taste absolutely fabulous, and we're on the last step now of getting these into the oven. Previously we pan fried our chicken breasts off with a coating, and these buns and the chicken are going to go in at the same time. I'm just putting a few sesame seeds on. These are black sesame seeds, but you don't have to use black sesame seeds. You can use normal sesame seeds. These are probably just a little bit stronger tasting, but I do think that they look pretty cool as well. So that's what we're doing with these. So egg wash, a few sesame seeds. You don't even have to put the sesame seeds on if you don't want to. And then these are going to go into the oven now for approximately 15 to 20 minutes until they're actually cooked. Hi, as you can see, our brioche buns are looking really good. One good thing to do to make sure that they are cooked, even though they're golden brown, is to tap the bottom, and if they sound hollow, then they're done. Right, okay, we've only got one thing left to do, and that is to construct our burgers. Okay, we've got everything here that we need, which we prepped up earlier, and so here we go. I'm going to first of all cut our lovely brioche buns. Oh. I have to say, look, there we go. Okay, you can see that in there, nice and light. You can still see the steam coming off them. We're going to pop a little bit of Caesar dressing on the bottom to start with, like so, like you would do a burger relish. We're going to put some lettuce in there, a nice crisp little gem lettuce. We're going to put one of our big cooked chicken breast in there. Now, if you're unsure of the chicken breast being cooked, just insert a knife, have a look, and basically, if it's if the juices are clear, not pink, then it's cooked. If you're unsure, pop it back in for a little bit more. These are perfect. On top of there, we're going to put a little bit more of our Caesar dressing, we're going to put some cheese, Parmesan cheese, which we've grated earlier on. More Caesar dressing on there, on the top of our brioche bun. Even a little bit more. Don't be shy. A little bit more lettuce. Just pop that, when you put that lettuce on, just get it round to the shape of your burger. And there we go. I'm just going to pop that onto there. Now, there we go. I'm just going to turn it around and get a close up on that for my cameraman. How good is that? That's what I'm talking about. We are both starving, me and my cameraman, Offie Green, my son, tonight, and we're going to enjoy this, and I really hope that you enjoy it too. Check out my website as well, www.robgreenchef.com, and there'll be more videos like this coming up soon. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you soon.